3 German skiers have been killed in an avalanche in Austria and a fourth is missing, police said today as snowfall set in again in the northern Alps. The bodies of the men aged 57, 36 and 32 were recovered yesterday evening near the ski resort of Lech, a few hours after the wife of one of the skiers reported them missing. Police in Vorarlberg, Austria's westernmost province, said they had to call off the search for another missing German skier in the group, aged 28, because of heavy snow and the risk of avalanches. The avalanche brings to at least 24 the number of weather-related deaths reported in parts of Europe this month. Police said the friends had apparently skied onto a trail that was closed. Although they had avalanche protection equipment and deployed airbags, the victims were buried by the avalanche and suffered multiple injuries. They were found with the help of phone tracking. On Saturday, authorities in southern Germany and Austria used a break in the weather to clear heavy loads of snow from roofs and roads. But snow set in again on Saturday night. In the Bavarian town of Kempten, local authorities closed 11 sports halls as a precaution because the weight of snow on their roofs was expected to increase, the German news agency dpa reported. The blanket of snow is expected to remain into the middle of next week throughout Central and Northern Europe. In Britain, forecasters have warned of heavy frosts and snow after the recurrence of conditions which preceded the beast from the east last winter. Trains between the German cities of Munich and Lindau, on Lake Constance near the Austrian border, were traveling more slowly than usual because of a risk of that trees weighed down by snow could fall onto the tracks. Heavy snow paralyzed much of Europe for yet another day, cutting off mountain villages, sparking avalanches like one that crashed into a Swiss hotel and killing at least 4 more people Friday. Workers at the Hotel Centus in eastern Switzerland spent Friday shoveling out hip-deep snow after a 330-yard, 300-meter wide avalanche smashed through the hotel's windows Thursday afternoon and piled up in rooms and the dining hall. A state of emergency was in force across parts of Europe last night after the worst snowfall for at least 30 years. Tanks and troops were drafted in to rescue homeowners from neck-deep snow in Germany and Austria as the whiteout looked to continue past the weekend. British skiers were among thousands facing long delays on their airport transfers to and from resorts in Austria due to road conditions, but travel industry sources said they had heard no reports of Britons snowed in or trapped. In Switzerland, a 1,000 feet wide avalanche plowed through the front of a hotel while diners were eating. 3 people were injured, but miraculously there were no deaths. Parts of Europe have been paralyzed in recent days with the snow cutting off remote mountain villages and disrupting transport. Avalanche warnings were at critical levels. The state of emergency was declared across much of southern Germany, with soldiers deployed to help trapped people. The army was also called in across Albania, Montenegro, and Serbia. Such quantities of snow above 800 meters altitude only happen once every 30 to 100 years, said Austrian meteorologist Alexander Radler. Austrian military helicopters on Friday rescued 66 German teenagers out of a mountain guest house, where they had been trapped for several days. Share this article. Share. The snow is up to 10 feet, 3 meters, deep in parts of the country, where 7 people have died in the past week. 2 hikers have also been missing since last Saturday. The military used helicopters to blow snow off treetops, to reduce the risk of trees falling on roads and train tracks. Sweden and Norway were hit by similar problems, while 3 diners were injured when an avalanche came down the Schwegel Pass in the Swiss Alps and crashed into the Hotel Sentis. One guest in the hotel restaurant said that initially he thought snow was falling from the roof. There was a gigantic noise and the back area of the restaurant was engulfed in masses of snow, the guest told media. In Germany's southern state of Bavaria, a 9-year-old boy was killed by a tree which collapsed under the weight of snow. It was 40 minutes before he was found, and emergency services were unable to revive him. Meteorological Office forecaster Sarah Kent said, "We're not yet sure whether the winds are going to come from the Arctic or Siberia, but it could become very cold. There's definitely an increased risk of widespread hard frosts, and if any weather systems bump into that cold air, it increases the chance of snow." Several towns and cities in southwest Serbia introduced emergency measures, warning of snow piling up on the roads and sealing off mountain villages, Serbian state TV reported Friday. Most schools in the area closed down, and 10 people had to be rescued from their homes. Strong winds complicated the work of emergency crews. In neighboring Montenegro, meteorologist Dragan Buric said the first 10 days of January have been among the coldest the country has seen in decades. "We have snow in January in the capital city, Pajorica, for the first time in 9 years," Buric told Montenegrin state TV. 3 guests at an hotel in the Swiss Alps were left injured on Thursday after an avalanche slammed into the restaurant around 4:30 p.m., burying 25 cars outside. Ventisky privacy policy. Britain killed in Alps plunge.